laner be so important in so many of these matches. But let's jump in to the land of Dawn. This is DreamMax Esports up against FUT Esports in game number 1.
Right off the bat, very aggressive, but also very greedy. Oh, top side, Blast Kitty might not be able to run away.
Already the 1v1. A little bit of damage. Nobody goes down, but still the aggression is already there. What less would you expect from these two teams?
Mieko already pushing Granger all the way back so that they win that lane. Unohana doing the Lord's work, just pushing and pulling the focus over to herself, and I see, like, okay, you got the Uranus, you get a 1v5, now it's Unohana's Esmeralda that comes into question. Lucy
in a little bit of trouble, should be able to get back to safety. Needs to go back to base, it seems. Day also on the bot side. Look at the damage on Miko there. Down in the jungle, Pick Me High, in a little bit of trouble as well. Maria, Nora lock in. Pick Me High able to use the flicker back over to safety. Not a kill on the board just yet, but look at the health bars of several DreamMax girls.
Yeah, not having a good time. The aggression coming up from FUT Esports, where DreamMax Girls' draft should be more aggressive. It should be able to deal that damage for FUT Esports and prevent them from that aggression into their own jungles. They're just walking in, but
the damage on to Nora. Lucy able to lock down. Angela trying to get the back and forth, trying to get the hits. Maria is on her. First blood, make it second blood as well. Over the side of FUT Esports.
Now FUT Esports ramping up the tempo, ramping up the aggression. That's what you want to see when you have a Suyo in your hand. Falling Star Moon.
Falling Star Moon from Unohana. Down comes the blast. Zendaya. Pick Me High, pick her off. FUT Esports with the kill.
Huge impact from Zendaya's Farsa with a fair airstrike, already zoning everything out for the turtle. First objective falls in the hands of FUT Esports as DreamMax Girls playing on the defense on the top side. Mieko
goes down. Blaze Kitty able to get a kill. That's huge for the side of DreamMax Girls. A kill into the right hands as well, into the pocket of Blaze Kitty.
Now on the bottom side, look at how DreamMax Girls are pathing. They're just playing into the hands of Unohana, and she's just so annoying. It's a 1v2.
The damage on Unohana, but in comes the AOG to stop the attack, stop the aggression. A nice Fury of the Phoenix to stun Maria before she engages. DreamMax Girls still hanging on.
Yeah, on the top side, it's aggression after aggression. It's scrappy at best. It's a brawl match once again, but FUT Esports, they're calculative. They want to take down heroes. They want to convert those into objectives. As DreamMax Girls, as much as they need to play passively, they need to watch the rotations. They need to watch how they path, because it's way too aggressive. It's way too tricky. When you walk through that bush, FUT Esports is right there, and they do have that speed to catch up and close the gap.
Ooh, Miko coming down. Miko goes down. Blaze Kitty able to get the kill once again. Feathered Airstrike does come down on Lucy. Lucy able to lock on to Nora. Nora now in a little bit of trouble. Pick Me High. Angelus, everyone there as FUT Esports is forced back under the tower. DreamMax Girls on the aggressive side this time.
Good counter on the bottom side. Unohana will keep herself busy with Day, but nice rotations coming out from DreamMax Girls. One person falls, the rest will follow, and Goon Squad comes in. Maria just shooting arrows to stop DreamMax Girls from their approach, trying to save that T1 up top side.
Maria able to lock on, and comes the AOG trying to block him off. Nora gets behind Blaze Kitty. Blaze Kitty does get taunted up. Miko look for the weakness points, but Maria let's not get the kill. Angelus taking out Zendaya. FUT Esports picking them off left and right. Fury of the Phoenix does come down, but there's no escape for Pick Me High. 3 members down. On the side of the DreamMax Girls, FUT Esports is on a roll.
Nice consolation prize. Mieko falls 2 times, but they counter re-engage. 6 kills to 2. FUT Esports on the upper hand. They can't seem to master rotation of Unohana. Nora.
Lucy is able to take out Nora, but Lucy might just pay the price for that. Crossbow tank does go off, then locks on to Day. Day now in a little bit of trouble as well. Bravest fighter able to flicker back, but the Feathered Airstrike comes down, and it's a killing spree over to Zendaya. 2 more members down for DreamMax Girls.
DreamMax are just forcing every single team fights, but FUT Esports, they have their eyes on the prize. The map is theirs. DreamMax, they're losing control of the map. Look at how far Unohana is rotating, and look at how fast she's pushing that tempo. The Lapu Lapu doesn't even know that Esmeralda is still up there. She's moving down the bottom side, and they already have that early game lane swap. FUT Esports might have an advantage over the funneling effect onto the 1-1. So 1-1 definitely will get the power spike much faster.
Yeah, nice lane swap for the side of FUT Esports. Turtle's going to be up in about 78 seconds. It's almost a 4K gold lead over to the team from Turkey A. What does DreamMax girls do at this point?
Yeah, this is not what you want to do when you're Zetian. You have to fear the Phoenix. Just to give some information, Unohana will prance out of that save. It's a 1v2, but it's Unohana, baby. She comes in back in with the Falling Star Moon.
Unohana should be okay. When we saw that goal, oh, wait a second, down to the mid, pick me high, taken out. Zendaya, the unstoppable right now, just 5-0-2.
It's not over yet,
blast from all around. Lucy trying to keep vision, trying to get away, trying to do something. Blaze Kitty in a bit of a bad spot right now.
Trying to look for a wraparound.
5 members sit on the top side, pushing DreamMax girls away.
T1 bot decimated. T1 mid demolished. FUT Esports is just pummeling over, walking over DMX. DMX trying to look for a wraparound once again. Fred Airstrike will start things off.
And I mean, Blaze Kitty and Pick Me High can't do anything about that right now. The distancing from the Farza is just too much. Pick Me High does take a shot to the face, tries to force the flicker back. Gonna go down here. Day does come in with a Bravest Fighter, able to get stun on Amiko. Blaze Kitty comes in, fires a Destinata, but still unable to get the kill. Lucy goes down. Blaze Kitty forces a dash back, forces to use a flicker, and now Day's in trouble as well. Dashes away, takes a shot to the face, but survives with a sliver of health. But at the price of a tower, at the price of the mid tier 2.
6 minutes in, 7,000 gold lead for FUT Esports. This is looking like to be one of the fastest games. Look at how things go. The Inspire already popped by Mieko, taking out Pick Me High. But look at the back line. Lucy just wondering whether she should go for Mieko. She doesn't know if there's backup. This is the miscommunication we're talking about for DMX.
Man, it was so close. They wanted Miko so bad. And this is what Lucy keeps on doing, going in, but ends up getting caught off. And I think DreamMax girls just have to be a little bit more careful in choosing these battles.
Turtle re-slaned up. FUT Esports pushing it through. The map looks kind of red at this point. It's bleeding. DMX. It's DMX, nothing to do but play it safe, play it very defensive. Turtle up. If they can push this game till maybe the 12, maybe the 13-minute mark, maybe they have a shot and trying to overturn and counter re-engage within their base, but it might be too late.
Pick Me High does catch a stalling Star Moon to the face. Day now caught up in the midst. Oh, a nice flicker to the side from Zendaya. Able to get away from Day and still keep that feathered airstrike coming down. FUT Esports, 10.5K gold lead. At a moment like this, there's barely anything you can do to defend.
Unohana just dancing circles around DMX. FUT Esports, they're showing what Turkey is made of. As DMX playing on the back foot, T3 mid already dropped.
FUT Esports not giving them any space to breathe right now. Towers are dropping.
No Lord, no problem. Unohana jumps in.
Falling Star Moon, able to connect. A little bit of damage on Amiko there. Unohana in a bad spot, able to dash back. Angelus trying to close in.
And she's back to full health.
That's going to be a close call. DreamMax girls still able to defend.
Yeah, this Esmeralda is just so annoying. Just jumps in whenever she wants. And Pick Me High's ultimate, there's no problem at all. Just talk about vision play. It doesn't matter where FUT Esports is. DMX just can't leave their home.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, FUT Esports has just got them in the chokehold. Leo mentioned it earlier. We got triangles. We got all kinds of stuff going on right now.
We got different shapes. Just flying through. And speaking of flying, Zendaya 5-0-3 on this Farsa. Basically, 3 members of FUT Esports having a perfect game. It's all the crucial members of FUT Esports. If you're a FUT fan out there, you should be happy. First lore going in the hands of FUT Esports. Doesn't look like DMX will try to even touch it unless Mountain Shocker or a Fear of the Phoenix would land the last hit. But it's really tight.
I mean, they do have both of them, right? They just drop them both at the same exact time. That's the plan.
They're just waiting. They know. They're waiting.
Man, that's a throwback. BDL. The BDL logo. That's it. Good lord for the side of FUT Esports. It's looking like trouble for the side of DreamMax girls.
Smart move, smart move. They know if they blitz that lord down, if a Fear of the Phoenix comes down onto all of them, it will wreak havoc. DreamMax girls can come back and steal that lord. So really, really smart call by FUT Esports.
All right, so where does DreamMax girls go from here? We stay in the base, we turtle up, we pray for defense, we do whatever we can to try to survive the onslaught.
Now, on the back foot once again, not a lot of wave clear, vision play doesn't matter. Angelise down low, just playing so far back, 0-4-0, that killing spree doesn't even matter. Unohana just freely dancing circles, dancing squares, dancing triangles, whatever shape it is around DMX, and the damage is just way too much for DMX to bear.
All right, Lord marching down the mid side. Feathered airstrike does come down, letting FUT Esports into the base to take down this bottom base tower. Unohana looking for a target. Miko dancing around, and it comes to AOG! A huge knock-up and a huge takeout. The foot has been dropped on DreamMax girls. Game number 1 going over.
Nora dropping the atomic down onto the wrath of DMX. Man, Turkey showing up strong, showing that dominance over the Latam girls.
Very well done. On the side of FUT Esports, 19-3. We haven't seen a game get into the 11,000 gold lead.
How long was that game?
Not very long. It doesn't even matter. I was looking at the gold. At that point, I mean, I don't think we've seen a 10K gold lead at all on Stream B just yet.
But man, it's back to the drawing board for the DMX. I know, Trex, you're a big fan right now, but what just happened right there?
A lot happened, and not a lot all at the same time. At this point, DreamMax girls has to go to the drawing board. They have to look at the way they approach this. I do want to say, remember what I was talking about? This is the first time we saw DreamMax girls pick up a damage jungle. And that might have been the switch up they didn't need to do. They've been able to win a lot of games, putting their faith in the damage of Blaze Kitty and Pick Me High, and using Angelus as that kind of frontline engager. And this time, being a little too easy to burst down, especially when there's an enemy Farza on the field. That's tough when you have that many squishies on the field. It's hard to deal with all that.
At the end of the day, though, it's still game number 1, but it just goes to show that DMX has so much work to do in adapting back into this game, but so much aggression, so much prowess coming in from FUT Esports is playing the damage jungler for Angelise the right answer.
No matter how sloppy you call FUT, at some point, all of that slob will devour you. You will drown. And I think that's what happened here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The resident FUT fan has joined the conversation. FUT Esports, I think this is the most aggressive they've ever played while finishing the job just as quickly. This was a huge issue they had in the opening stages of MWI 2025, wherein they went the distance, 1940 being their fastest game in the opener against Rising Rage, and they went 21.5 before that. Here, what was it? I lost count. As soon as I saw them take
First Lord, and they were waiting for the right call, and they were so smart, they're so methodical, they know what their opponents are going to do, and I think Pick Me High was just waiting for the ultimate to come online. It was on cooldown, and once it came online, it just started to show, and they were just timing every single second. I think FUT Esports really showed us another level of gameplay.
Timing is relevant, is relative for FUT Esports, and DreamMax girls, I don't even want to blame Pick Me High anymore. I don't even want to think, what if this was Camis playing? Because FUT Esports, every single role was fired off on all cylinders. They have been the most in sync now than they have ever been. Something about their matchup against Onyx Pertiwi woke him up.
I think definitely. They were already kind of awake before that. Maybe got a reality check against Onyx Pertiwi, realizing, okay, maybe we're not as bad as we thought we were. Yeah, we gave the business to Rising Rage, but there's still a lot more to work on, and they came into this game very strong. Unohana once again goes deathless overall on the map.
Unohana, Mireia, Zendaya, these are the playmakers, and the way that they played this, again, I'd hate to draw odd conclusions from out of nowhere, but this reminds me of the Carl TZ San duo combination. You know what I mean? How lane to lane, there's nothing you can do that they cannot see. Because you have Mireia farming out of her mind on the Suyo, which I'm happy about. I'm a Suyo main. I've been a Suyo main for like 6 months up until Moonton just decided to nerf into the ground. And then you have the feathered airstrike coming in, artillery on demand, and Unohana, I think she really bullied the hell out of Day so that
The entire team of DMX.
that too, but in the laning phase, I'm looking at Day, she couldn't catch a break.
True, she was just free farming down, proxying that wave, and whenever that's done, she just joins in all the team fights. It's a 5 against whatever number that DreamMax can throw into that. Let's take a look at a lane to lane. You talked about Unohana versus Day. It kind of looks red all the way from Unohana.
And this is a good kind of red. Usually when they say you're in the red, it's bad. But for her, that means she's just farming out of her mind. I like how she picked up Sprint. By picking Sprint, you are telegraphing that you are going to be living in your opponent's personal space. And here she followed through. Her MO was honest and clear. She put her heart on her sleeve, and she hit DreamMax Girls with a huge clothesline.
Yeah, I mean, a 3-level lead for Unohana by the end of that game. We've seen the Esmeralda kind of be hit or miss, but for Unohana, it is definitely a hit.
Yeah. Thinking of what else DreamMax Girls could have done different, lane to lane, I think the only lane that maybe they could have caught a break out of was gold. I think Mieko died like 2 or 3 times.
Twice.
Off timing, so that must have been some good work from Blazkitty, but to be honest, Blazkitty almost got first blood drawn on her solo, right? We were watching it, and she needed a few rotations on her, a few tactical retreats, and looking at the damage dealt here, Pick Me High, she's first, but second would be Blazkitty. So Blazkitty was getting there. Blazkitty was working towards a palpable win, but FUT Esports, I think the fact that Zendaya, as soon as she had a feather attack, she always used it. You always saw it get popped off. That just outranged Blazkitty.
I think the strategy was just is kind of solid for DreamMax Girls. They want to kind of shift the attention away from EXP lane, hoping that they could have a solid winning lane against this Esmeralda, and then shift their attention towards that gold lane. But it just didn't work. You see a lot of the aggression coming in from Lucy, from Pick Me High, and Angelise, just targeting onto Mieko. They did it twice, but it wasn't enough. Unohana just walked all over Day.
Yeah, I mean, and taking a look at Blazkitty and Mieko, Blazkitty, I mean, even in the beginning of that game, like you said, didn't die as much. Actually had a gold lead for a while. Everyone else on her team was behind in gold, but she was ahead a few hundred gold. And I think the strategy was right. Yeah, have faith in Blazkitty. The problem is their whole mid trio was getting demolished, and eventually you're going to lose out. And this is why, once again, I think that DMX should have stuck with the tankier jungle. Should have stuck with something that could buy Blazkitty the time.
Which is, again, woulda, coulda, shoulda. You put the Yusun Shin into the hands of Angelis, and Yusun Shin has been quite the breakout star in this current metagame. 1.9.90 hotfix. Whenever a team could draft the Yusun Shin, there's about a 70-80% chance that they would pick it. So now the question, if they do move over to utility jungler, put it in the hands of Angelis, does that automatically open up the rest of the map, or does suddenly this allow FUT to, weirdly enough, put the foot on the gas down so much harder? Because the thing is, there was a small chance that maybe Angelis came online if they were able to force it through. But if, let's say, Angelis had like a Fredrin or a Baksha, or again, those are really the only options, isn't that slightly more passive, especially if you're losing the side lanes anyways?
Well, I see it in 2 ways. Yes, if you want to pick up a utility jungler, you're a little bit more passive. You can negate the aggression coming into your jungle, but you can also be aggressive into your opponent's jungle. But now knowing that FUT Esports is super highly aggressive, especially onto the side lanes, and even if your jungle is being targeted on, if your side lane's in shambles, it really doesn't matter at this point.
All right, let's take a breath here. Slow it down.
I don't think they were losing the side lanes. Blazkitty was winning her side lanes, right? I think Blazkitty had the side lanes. The only reason why they started losing that lane was because the mid was crumbling. So yeah, I think the idea is definitely go back. I think you guys had a formula that was working. It's match point. I guess you could risk it all. If you're gonna do that though, you know, it's a big risk.
Yeah, I think this play in particular, Day was just, you know that she wants to go for Mieko, but it was like a, do I go now or are you coming? Is there any backup?
I see it. So the side lane situation is a byproduct of the mid trio missing the beats. So maybe if you do some way, somehow find a way to put a Fredrin, a Baksha, these are our best picks. An Akai, they've won with an Akai already up against Rising Rage. Or even an Xborg, if some way, somehow, FUT Esports decides to play an utility jungler as well, then maybe. Because again, at least you'll be winning in major objective team fights. You would be trying to invade. You would be a good frontliner. Because this is a difficult game for Angelus. That is an understatement. She's defending inside her base at 0-4-0. That's not enough farm on a Yusun Shin.
I think it's not a lot of farm at all. There's no farm onto this Yusun Shin.
They got so much. They got so much vision too. So it's a lot of what I can do, but not being able to do it. So now, I'd say 60% of the game is on DreamMax's draft. Let's see what Coach Secretaria has to fix things up as she goes head-to-head against Coach Asmo, M3 alumni playing for Bedell. Now the coach of FUT Esports going into game number 2. Match point for the Turkish. Churros and Treks tell you.
Now, right off the bat, Coach Secretaria just fixing things off by just taking all the previous heroes out. No more Farsa, no more 1-1. We don't want to deal with that. On the other side of the table, FUT Esports just playing it safe. We want to play the meta game, which ban out the Uranus and ban out the Matilda. It's pretty much standard, but for DreamMax Heroes, don't you think it's a little bit too reactive at this point?
I mean, when you're on that side and you get that first power pick, you do have the opportunity to target ban. I feel like you're in the best position to throw some target bans out there and leave some things open for yourself. Now, then it comes up to FUT Esports on how much more they want to leave open so that they have a nice backswing on the second 2 picks. Zitian also gets banned out here. It's what we saw from their first pick last game. I'm not that big of a fan of that up front. I think we could have gone a different way, so let's see them go a different way this time.
I think they want to secure that Kimmy. I think Pick Me High will definitely want to have that mid lane advantage in the Kimmy, or even the Juicin for that matter. They go for the Kimmy instead, so they're trading over. But Esports might be able to pick up that Juicin. If it's a Juicin and Gato combo, it is sort of like a very nasty gold lane. You have fast clears, fast rotations, but they go for the Baksha instead. They want even more rotation speed.
And this time they're going to take the utility jungler most likely, unless this does get flexed. We have seen this hero actually get flexed last minute with a few teams yesterday. Don't know, can't remember exactly if it completely worked out. I think it did end up losing. Phoveus also locked in for FUT, but here's the thing, FUT regularly does this, man. They like to lock in that front line pretty early on, and DreamMax girls, on the other hand, keep on locking in their mid laner and giving over so many of these power picks.
Yeah, Phoveus already taken out by FUT. I think for DreamMax girls, if they want a lane advantage, they might just have to go with CC at this point. On their side, though, do DreamMax Girl roll the dice on a damage jungler or a utility? Angeli seems more comfortable on the utility. They can snap pick the Fredrin up. I think it kind of works well against the Baksha on a head-to-head. But then it's sort of like you fight fire with fire, and they're actually picking up someone with real fire. It's Xborg for Angelis in the jungle.
I mean, I like the fact that they're maybe going to a utility jungler, but the Xborg hasn't been sold to me just yet. They do pick up the Minotaur as well, so they get some front line down, and the Xborg might be a little bit better against the Fredrin, but the Basha, this is a guy that can just jump onto you, you know, stop you for the second. And that's the other problem with it against the Fredrin is you get stunned up, and if Xborg gets hit by CC, now we have a little bit more as well. I'm wondering how he's going to pair up against these 3 heroes alone.
I think, you know, the first game, DreamMax Heroes actually banned out the Luoyi. Maybe FUT Esports really teasing the cross-map plays from the Luoyi as well as the Moskov as they pick that up. And they might just play split push. They might not even want to go for fights because they have a lot of sort of like speed, momentum advantage in the early to late game. But for DreamMax Girls, it kind of seems like they want to kind of go for that team fight, skirmish, clash composition. So I'm not surprised if they pick up the Ixia right here and here. So for FUT Esports, they understand that CC has to go. They want to give Unohana an easy lane with the Phoveus. The Luoyi has been sussed out by DreamMax Girls.
All right, and they continue to ban out that Lu Yi. There really must have been something happening in Scrim, something behind the scenes. Carry ban does come in from the side of FUT Esports with no mage locked in for FUT. They take out the Valentina as well, leaves nothing but the Jushin left, essentially. Right? Zitian's gone, Farza's gone. Jushin still on the field. Is that something that they want to put into the hands of Zendaya?
It's tough, right? I mean, you can, because if you look at the macro picture, only Xborg would be the only hero that would be negated with the Lantern Flare. But at the end of the day, I think in the early game, you want to get that kind of range. You want to get that kind of zone out. And I think it's a good matchup against the Kimi. On the other side, though, the Novaria provides the additional range, and you want to get that vision play with FUT Esports. Not too sure about this Novaria. I'm not sure if they picked it up before, but it is interesting.
I think it's a solid pick against the Xborg. I think it's a solid pick against the short-range Kimi. It's something that can just hang out in the back line. It's never really under threat of the Minotaur. It's never really under the threat of getting hit by a big Last Insanity unless you get some crazy range or find some crazy angle. The Novaria, yes, it's not a super popular pick right now, but it could be just what FUT Esports need to take advantage in this draft. But there is that Beatrix pick that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, back to basics with the Beatrix. And I think, honestly though, this Xborg could be flexed into the EXP lane, and then DreamMax Girls could pick something. Okay, so they're going for the Terizla instead, so going more teamfight heavy, and it's all situated down in a particular location. Get a penalty zone, the Last Insanity, the No One's Fury, all down into one ground. But then this is no insurance for like that split map play or cross map plays, but FUT Esports has a lot of movement, has a lot of mobility. That is something that DMX really needs to watch out for. Last thoughts before we get started. I think FUT Esports definitely, this split push mechanic, this high mobility might be able to win out DMX. And looking at how aggressive they were, I think in the early game they are able to create the same kind of pressure onto DreamMax Girls. Yeah, it's all over.
Last pick Joy with the flex of the Basha into the roam position. So in the beginning, it's we're going to steal this Basha away from you, not let you have it. We know what you want to try to go for here. They called it right, forced DreamMax Girls into an Xborg pick instead of getting a better utility pick. I don't know. I think the even though Novaria pick is very niche, I can't see how they're going to get to it. You know, how are DreamMax Girls going to close that distance? Even with the Terizla, it doesn't have a long enough range with that penalty zone to really lock down on that. I mean, the only real way is to take out everyone and then find Novaria at the end. It's going to take a bit of time for that to come online, but you have the Joy to make up for that. You have other heroes on the map to make up for that. I like FUT Esports draft here.
Yeah, I actually do like FUT Esports draft a little bit better. At least they have some form of insurance in the lane pressures, but for DreamMax Girls, you're taking the fight over to them. It's a full-on clash composition. You want to fight? Here we are. Let's take that fight and let's pummel on. FUT Esports, I think they're starting things off a little bit more defensively, but just because of that Kimi, just because of that early game damage, it makes it a little bit harder for Zendaya to get that wave clear.
All right, DMX should be able to clear these waves a bit faster on the mid side. Look for the rotations early on. Roamer and mid lane are both kind of splitting it up as Pick Me High goes down to the bot side to maybe help Blaze Kitty out.
So far, slow rotations from FUT Esports as DreamMax Girls starting to ramp up the aggression, taking all the jungle creeps away from FUT Esports as Maria slowly but surely seeping in. And again, I think the strategy is pretty much similar. Instead of the gold lane, you want to push all the resources onto the EXP side, make sure that they win out, and make sure Day has an easier time so that the objective takes, especially first turtle, would be in DMX's hands.
Those meteors will start to add up. Pick Me High is going to have to watch out for him. Zendaya, she's as good of a shot as she is with that feathered airstrike. It could be dangerous the farther this game goes on.
Yeah. A little bit of a tricky situation as the turtle spawns up in 5 seconds. Maria already in position. And DreamMax Girls, they are 4 members within that turtle pit. I think FUT Esports has to play it slower. Try to test the waters a little bit, throw a rod and see whether there's a bite.
I do like the approach from DreamMax Girls. Lucy now gets a knock up on Nora. Nora maybe in a little bit of trouble, but in comes the penalty zone. A lot of damage on Lucy. Nora falls. Maria able to take the turtle though and take out Lucy next. It's a 2-for-1 plus a turtle. Angelus will be next to fall. Miko, 1-0 and 0, 3 kills on the board for FUT Esports.
It all started again with Unohana setting things up. 4-man knockup, or should I say 4-girl knockup with the Demonic Force and just getting that Infernal Pursuit onto all of them, setting things up for Mireia to just swoop right in, taking the turtle for himself. FUT Esports, as much as they are a dive-heavy team, as much as they are a late-game potential, they are winning out on DreamMax Heroes, and this isn't looking good for a Clash-heavy composition.
FUT Esports with a 1.3K gold lead. DMX on the back foot, and it felt like before that turtle, they were really coming into this match kind of spread out, staying on their side of the river, not trying to get too aggressive, but FUT Esports is bringing the aggression to them.
A little bit of a slower pace this time around. 50 seconds till the next turtle spawns up, as FUT Esports wants to try to avoid as much clashes as possible. Yes, they won out on that previous turtle as DreamMax Girls just looking for the heads. But at the same time, FUT Esports just want to find the objectives, wait for Mieko to get online with the Trinity before things really start to go crazy.
All right, Blaze Kitty drops bombs down on Honora. Vision is locked on from Zendaya in the back line. Miko takes a couple shots to the face, but FUT Esports backs off. They know they have the chokehold on. They can just slowly kind of push in onto these lanes. We're only 4 minutes in.
Good respect, good discipline coming in from DMX. They know that Unohana is already making her way down into that clash. 10 seconds till the turtle spawns up. Does look like DMX are in a better position contest for this, but on the bottom side.
Blaze Kitty saved by a nick of space, by a couple of frames. Unohana in the backside though, with Infernal Pursuit. Does lock on to Lucy, on to Door, on to Day. Penalty zone does come out, but it's unable to really do much. Unohana still harassing in the backside. Turtle getting low, Mireia able to secure it. And down goes Angela. Everyone's collapsing onto her. Nora able to get the kill. Day might just be next as Pick Me High and Lucy are split up from the group. Down to the bot side, Miko though almost finds Blaze Kitty, but Mireia finally drops. The battle is stretched too far and FUT Esports loses 2 members.
I want to say, you put Unohana on Uranus, put her on Esmeralda, put her on anything, and she 1v5. She's holding on so much time for Mireia to get that turtle, but unfortunately though, they stayed a little bit too long, and FUT Esports, they lose 2 members, but no matter though, Mieko slowly winning down on that lane. Already 500 gold lead for this Moskov, and it's a late game potential. I think DMX just has to buy more time. 10 minutes, 12 minutes, wait till Beatrix comes online and Blaze Kitty will blast everything up.
Yeah, the moving gun does come in early for Blaze Kitty, but the range isn't going to be enough to take out Miko. Miko winning it out in the 1v1. DMX needs to be careful. The farther they go into this match, that goal lead is escaping them faster and faster.
Yeah, on 1v1, man, Mieko just soloed Blaze Kitty. It's not looking so good for DreamMax Girls at this point, but there is a saving grace. As much as the side lanes are applying a lot of pressure, DreamMax Girls, they need to play Clash-heavy compositions, and I think that 30 seconds in and the turtle getting spawned up might be the best shot that DreamMax Girls can have to sort of like have that gold advantage. Clashing underneath turret.
Penalty zone does come out, but it is a defensive penalty zone at that, and not defensive enough. As Mireia gets the kill down on the boss side though. A nice Minoan's Fury gets a knock up, but watch out for the SOD. Miko pops up, shows up and pulls out. Pick behind a little bit of trouble. Miko forced it back off. Blaze Kitty looking for the shot. Can she get the double? No, she's knocked up. She dashes through with the flinker. Looking for the outplay. It's Unohana.
She's swapped by the rest of
and Unohana dunks her down. Lucy taken out next.
That backup from FUT Esports. Unohana again, deathless, by so much time for the SOD to come in, and from the top of the map coming through, they managed to save that T1 bottom. Yes, it's not a very valuable resource. It's sort of like the tip of your pinky finger, but it's still a huge, huge resource. Right now, they can't open up that map, and DreamMax Girls, they're still playing from behind. 2,400 gold lead for FUT Esports at this point. Nora, they look for a target.
Nora comes in onto Day. Infernal Pursuit locks on to Day as well. Penalty zone does come down and locks on to Nora. Pick Me High just trying to get some free shots off Angela. Just trying to back off at this point. Doesn't want to use the last Insanity. They were just looking for a tower. And now they're going to hit and run. Zendaya in the mid side, taking the tower for herself.
Good trade. Zendaya knows that she can't make it in time on top side.
Angelise doesn't even have time to use the last Insanity.
Zendaya with a snipe.
Oh, close shot on Angelise. DreamMax Girls is looking similar to game number 1.
DreamMax opened up that purple buff all the way. In FUT Esports, they're taking control. The purple buff might be contested in the next couple minutes, but man, DreamMax Girls are losing so much resources, and this might be the tipping point. They want to look for clashes, but FUT Esports, they're so spread out. They start the fights, waste all their resources onto Unohana, onto Mieko, onto Nora, that they can't do anything once the Goon Squad comes in yet again. Like Maria will swoop in, will dive in. Zendaya understands the trades. You're having a fight on top side. I can't reach that. Let's go for the T1s instead. At DreamMax Girls, they look for the fights, yes, but they are forgetting all of these major objectives.
Oh, good damage on Maria there. Pick Me High is starting to output a little bit more, but all the vision is now locked on. SOD connects. Pick Me High gone. Day into the backside with the penalty zone on to Miko. Day just trying to create some space. Last Insanity takes out Maria. And now Day still all alone. Can he get the final shot? No, Zendaya snipes him out of existence.
Good target prior from FUT Esports though. They know that Mieko needs to stay alive, so they retargeted their resources. But DreamMax Girls, that is a worthy clash. They might have been able to win this if Pick Me High didn't get exploded down to smithereens by the SOD coming in from Mieko as well. Now, Lord spawned up. DreamMax Girls not ready. They don't have Day. They don't have any setups. And FUT Esports, they're blitzing this down.
I don't think there's anything DreamMax Girls can do about this. You know, we said it before this match started. It's going to be so hard for DMX Girls to get to that back line. And even with a great penalty zone by Day, Day's all alone at that point. There's nothing she can do against Miko and another member. If she was able to get that kill, it would have been a saving grace. But every time, especially when you're behind this far in gold, it's tough to make those plays happen.
I think it's all according to plan. DreamMax Girls has a draft that is super defensive. So if the Lord comes in, FUT Esports commits all in underneath the turrets, inside their base, DreamMax Girls might be able to overturn and counter this entire game and try to get that comeback. But FUT Esports, they're far ahead, 4,900 at this point. They're targeting onto that T2 bot. Nora just giving them some space. That's so much, call it intimidation, call it fear, but that is just one boxia, just pushing everyone away.
Not just that, but those shots from Zendaya are just taking away more and more health with every minute that passes. Lord does connect onto the tower. FUT Esports looking for the kill shot.
They're coming in, no more Lord. As FUT Esports, they want to play it defensive. They know that they can't afford to go too close to the sun. As DreamMax Girls struggling to keep things afloat. They're too far ahead, but they're forcing it.
Day goes down. Another snipe shot from Zendaya from the back line. Yeah. As this goes on, Unohana's on the bot. Clearing out waves. FUT Esports are circling like sharks right now. Just waiting for a moment to bite. More damage on the tower. Lucy tries to dive forward. Unable to connect with any members of FUT Esports. DreamMax Girls try to reposition and pair themselves for the next jump. And look at the damage from Zendaya, bringing Blaze Kitty down to about half health. Miko dashes in. Nora to the backside, trying to lock onto Blaze Kitty. Nora just trying to get away now. Probably going to go down for that. A little bit past she could handle.
But DreamMax Girls, they're stranded. They're stuck on a boat. And FUT Esports, they're really circling like sharks. I mean, that was a worthy sacrifice, but Maria comes in.
Nice Minoan's Fury though onto Maria. SOD does come through and Miko's in the midst of it all. Was that a misplay? Finds Lucy, but Blaze Kitty gets the kill. Blaze Kitty forced to back off. Looking for Unohana. Another member down. It's nothing but Zendaya left on the attack of FUT Esports. 4
members down for FUT. As DreamMax Girls, like I said, the defense is coming through. They might be stuck on a boat, but they're on a boat with guns, baby. Blast Kitty's coming online. She's locked in, ready to go. Let's take a look at replay, see what happened. So they start things off with Mieko locking Pick Me High down to the wall, but Blast Kitty's just blasting them from the backside. Miyako jumped a little bit too close.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that Blast Kitty has the win of nature.
Yeah, Miyako should not have came in there. I think she had to know her limits. Yes, there's a huge gold lead, but you can't just jump in the middle of 4 members like that. You got to be a little more careful. This could give some time and space back to DreamMax. The gold lead has significantly dropped, and it's going to get a little bit harder for FUT Esports to keep on pushing in.
Lord spawned up. DreamMax girls trying to get in position. They know they might be able to win this 2,500 gold deficit, but look at where Miyako is as she's pushing down bottom side, trying to split the heads.
Nice damage. Zende continues to snipe away. Unohana gonna get knocked up by the Minoan's Fury. Last Insanity comes in as well. Angelus able to take out, but Miko on the backside! Miko taking out 2, make it 3. Angelus, there's no escape for you today.
You're cycling through, you're gunning down.
That's gonna be it. Pick Me High all alone. Lucy goes down max, triple kill for Miko. As Maria jumps into the backside,
Bottom
all members down for DreamMax girls. FUT Esports will take the series.
They're just gunning it down as Latam will not survive the wrath of Turkey as they get sent home by FUT.
What a series. FUT Esports continues to get stronger and stronger as they move forward through MWI. Not only have they knocked out the DreamMax girls, but they have secured a spot in the final 8 bracket. Turkey A